The
mine.
internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. So grab your dick and double click. The internet is for porn. Welcome to Sexy Time.
We touched ourselves last night, pre-flight. Every week we...
Zero.
And I think it's gonna be a sexy time. Yeah. I don't know.
Please clip that for him. I guess I could.
I'm bringing sexy back.
Sexy back.
You're pretty goddamn sexy, so bringing sexy back. Oh. Zero, thank you for the diamond.
All right.
I'm pumped. I'm sorry.
You did a good job. I like the what's it called? Tights?
Garter belt? The thigh highs?
Oh, it's the those are thigh highs. Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a garter belt on. Wait. Let's see if I can do that. Show your lemons. You're going to show me many ice creams.
I will show you many ice creams.
Show me your ice cream. Show me your ice cream. Oh.
Thank you. You are pretty goddamn sexy too.
Oh my god. This is a Russian mail order bride. I love it.
I am not mail order bride. I am polyamorous. Any man want to put up with me? I'm Russian polyamorous girl.
This is a weird. This isn't that
Oh,
sexy.
you like the whip? You want? Okay. I like the.
Thank you for the ice cream. You are pretty goddamn sexy too.
So good. Thank you for the ice cream. You are pretty goddamn sexy too. Yugoslavian.
You'd think I was actually drinking, but I'm not.
Well, thank you for those lemon ices. You're pretty goddamn sexy too. Enjoy your dinner.
You're really goddamn sexy.
That's your favorite song. That's you like the lemon sound, don't you?
Goddamn sexy.
I do. And I'm a masochist, so I made it so people can't spam it, but but I love it.
I think that's a wise choice, BK.
I know. Oh.
That choice is pretty goddamn sexy.
Thank you,
Please,
Coin.
somebody clip BK making that sound.
No. But
I think I could clip it.
Ah, crap.
This is right up my alley. As they say in Asia Town, it ain't the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. Oh, that's what I've heard anyway. And clitoral is more common than the other one, I believe. And so from what I was, from knowing that information, from my vast experience of asking women about their clit and their insides, their vagina. Yes, I always do that. Every first date. Talk to me about your clit and your vagina. I'm sorry. It was there. Instead of, exactly.
Oh,
that's what happened. Spider Josh, Spider Jace, Spider Josh, Spider Jace, does whatever a Spider Jace.
The one in quotes or the
Whatever
whole
you
thing?
want.
The whole thing. I like the whole thing, baby.
All right, the whole thing. Need to poop in that first year together? Dear God, lock the door, turn on the faucet, and pray they don't know you shit. After 5 years or so, need to poop, doors open, lights are on, and someone yells, "Honey, bring the camera!" It's an evolution.
Thank you, Jason Joe. You're awesome, dude. You're great, and that's why we made this. We work well together. I'll be happy to do that.
It's true. It's true. And you know what I have to say to what's going on in the chat right now? Oh, Monster J.
Are you in trouble? Are you okay? That's the safe word. Are you okay?
No, she says everybody should just yell Monster J in the bedroom.
Okay, good. Well, I was adopting it as my new safe word.
I'm in my bedroom.
As soon as I hear Monster J now, I'm like, wait a second, alert, safe word been activated.
No, I'm in my bedroom, so I had to yell, "Oh, Monster J."
I'm in my bedroom too. Monster J.
Do it.
Oh, Monster
No.
J.
Yell it.
Oh, Monster J. Oh. Thank you, Monster J.
Somebody needs to clip that.
I love it because the nice thing is it's in Japan, so they might think it's something else.
Join us on our live stream. Right now, we've got some people still hanging out with us who are going to keep hanging out with us.
The party doesn't stop when the podcast stops. So if you want to be part of the party, you can always join us over at dlive.tv/sexytime. If you decide you want to subscribe to our channel, you can also join us afterwards for a no holds barred, very sexy, private conversation where you get to interact with me and BK in video. And it's a really, really fun, amazing time. I was having such a blast last week, and I can't wait to see who's going to be in our Pillow Talk tonight. In the meantime, don't forget, you can always submit your questions to us at sexytimedlove@gmail.com. That's sexytimedlove@gmail.com. You can record a voice memo. You can write it out, whatever you want. We're happy to take your questions. Welcome to Sexy Time.
The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. So grab your dick and double click. The internet is for porn.
Welcome to Sexy Time.
We touched ourselves last night, pre-flight. Every week we...
0.
And I think it's gonna be a sexy time. Yeah. I don't know.
Please clip that
I'm
for
bringing
him.
sexy
I guess I
back.
could.
I'm bringing sexy
I'm bringing
back.
sexy back.
You're pretty goddamn sexy, so bringing sexy back. Ah. 0, thank you for the diamond.
All right.
I'm pumped. I'm sorry.
You did a good job. I like the what's it called? Tights?
Garter belt? The thigh highs?
Woo woo! Hello. I hope y'all can. I'm good. I hope my sound is okay. I'm on the road today.
Looking
Just
good in a
switched-
hotel.
Thank you. Just switched my top chat to live chat. Make sure I don't miss anything. Hello, Davo. Good to see you tonight.
My chat is having issues, so hang on. I gotta pop out this chat. Gotta pop it out. Usually I like to
Pop
pop
it.
it in. This time I gotta pop it out.
Pop it in. Let me begin.
There we go. It's popped out. It's in now. Live chat.
Ooh, I'm 100% charged. I can unplug. Ooh.
How you doing, Davo? Thanks for being here. Davo was here early, rocking in there.
Woo!
Thank you.
I
Before
love
we
that.
started.
Did you? I haven't gotten any Discord announcements. Did you already
I
tell everybody
did.
we were doing our thing? Okay.
I did.
It's okay. It's just because I'm not on my computer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Discord on my phone doesn't bug me as much. I have it set up differently. I thought.
Relatable. I do that too.
Actually, I'm not seeing it.
Is Discord blocking
really?
me? I did it everywhere I thought I should.
Live streams
Live
today. It's
streams,
there.
live.
I just didn't get an announcement.
Okay,
That's
good,
fine.
good. Phew.
I must have my Discord set up differently on my phone.
Oh, I didn't put it
Not
to
to
other places,
worry,
though.
dear.
Don't worry.
Not to worry.
I'll take care of it. You chill. You chill. I know you're gonna have to do something very soon anyway, right?
Oh yeah. So tonight is a wonderful lesson in getting what you need and letting go of shame. Because sometimes you have to do a thing in order to function, and it's awkward and seems silly. But you know what? I got to do a thing. So in order for me to be able to do my job well, I have to leave here in about 10 minutes and run downstairs to use a computer so I can get a good shift for work. And hopefully I'll be back triumphant 10 minutes or so later. And you know, the nice thing about all of that is you get to have BK to yourself. For probably like a full 10 minutes. That's kind of sexy.
And I'm very flexible.
There's a slight possibility that somebody who's staying here might have the same plan that I do and might beat me to the computer.
Oh, really?
In which
that'd be
it's
insane.
possible. There's
That's
only
cool.
one computer.
Yeah.
It didn't happen last time, but last time I was on a different kind of on-call shift, and this time I'm on an earlier one, so it's probably more competition. So if that happens, then I'll have to hope my phone gets me what I need. And again, hopefully I'll return triumphant. We will see what happens. You know, sometimes life seems a little random. That's why we're creating a randomness poll.
I'm trying.
Today.
The characters are too long. I'm trying to cut it down. I love it when
you can do it.
I can do it.
I believe in you. I do. I believe in you.
I'm going to combine two and then just make a different one. This is tough.
I'm just pulling up my questions right now on my phone. If you think that I'm distracted on my phone, I am not. This is for the sexy time. Interestingly, I saw my boss today from work, from my flight attendant gig. And he said, "Oh, by the way, I listened to your podcast."
Oh.
And he said, "Shame on you." And I said, "I know you're kidding." He said, "Yes, I am." And he was like, "I listened to the one actually where you were in the airport and you kept having to mute everything. And it was very funny. And I kept wondering to myself, how many people actually know where she's really at? I know where she's really at." And then he's like, "And I also listened to the one where you talked about that girl who had, like, it was about sex shops, and this girl had like people rifling through her sex shop purchases like at the store itself." And he's like, "Oh, that's so creepy. People are so weird." So it made me really happy to see that like my boss caught the show and enjoyed it and gets me. That was nice. That's nice.
Awesome. Holy crap.
Right?
And they really watched. They had examples of.
Well, I don't know that they watched. He said he listened, I think.
But I mean, but they really listened because they were actually engaged because they were talking about the mute session, which is something that is a clip of that one of ours as well. One of the recent clips that came out was the ChatGPT one. It just makes me laugh every time when it made me fire you too. Good times. I said on
I forgot about that.
I said on Twitter, I asked for a nice thing to say from ChatGPT and it told me to fire my co-host. Asked for a nice thing.
Rude.
Yeah, vote. What's up, MJ?
Monster J. Hello, Monster J.
What's up?
Somebody in the room next to me was probably like, "What the heck?"
That is
what's going on.
That is really cool though, that that just was random. They didn't know, you didn't tell them about that, right? They just randomly found it?
Did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I did because yes, I did tell them.
Good.
I did tell him about it. We were having I don't remember how the conversation came out. Oh, I think I told him I had to go and do the podcast that night when I was in the airport, and he was like, "What's your podcast? I want to listen to it." And I was like, "Okay, now listen. This is extracurricular. You have to understand.
I forgot. I have my.
You can't hold this
background.
against me."
That's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad he was chill with it. But you
No,
guys
he
should
was totally great.
You guys should tell your boss or your friends.
Yes.
You know, if Alice can do it, you can do it.
Tell your boss. Tell your friends. Tell your bossy friends.
I like a bossy lady in bed.
Right.
Outside of bed,
We're
I like
pretty
50-50.
awesome. I mean, wait.
Oh, but that's me. I'm a switch, you know. I mean, even in bed, like, yeah, I like the boss. I say bossy. It's a weird way of saying I like someone who knows what they want and tries to not be scared of that, you know? Not be scared of that. I like that.
Yeah. So again, now that Monster J is here, just to repeat, what I want is a really good work shift. So I'm going to disappear for a minute. But BK's got you back.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm
in 5. I'm watching the clock.
You should,
no,
you can go
in 4 minutes.
Is now
4
too early?
minutes,
It's too early because
go.
you have to wait in front of the computer.
Early.
I just want to make sure you don't get screwed.
It's not too early. I could go stalk the computer.
Yeah, because like if it's not available, you probably have to come back and then pop off for a sec, right? So.
Well, no, if it's not available, I'm gonna take my phone with me and pray
okay.
that that's enough. But it probably won't be.
Don't you know? Think positive.
Yeah, so hopefully,
be aggressive.
Well, the positive thing is that the computer will be there and I'm fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they know they're having a good
time.
They getting it on. Oh yeah.
Who is?
Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on. Mandate. Get it on. The mandate, baby.
Your boss has watched. That's good.
Oh really?
That's
good.
That's good.
I was hoping they had.
Everybody needs to tell their boss about Sexy Time. Also, like the show. How do I like the show?
We should.
I think I gotta. I go out. I'm the only one who's liked the show, y'all. Come
really?
on.
Oh,
come on.
You're right. I think I haven't.
Bring it. There's 5 of you here.
If every one of you told your boss, we could save the sex in the world. If everyone,
tell your bosses. Well, but be careful telling your bosses, right? We wouldn't want to like open up any sexual harassment issues, right?
Yeah.
You know, be sure that you have a.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
The kind of relationship with your boss that you could tell them about Sexy Time.
I forgot about that.
You know, I forgot about that too. Let's be good sex columnists
if
right
there
now.
If there is something going on with the
say.
boss at work, yeah. I mean,
careful with that.
Out of all my office,
be aware.
Yeah, out of all my, at least okay. Tell a coworker at least, and don't make it weird. Yeah.
Again, yeah. Be careful.
Don't make it weird. Like me and
don't
my
tell
friend.
Someone under you.
Yeah.
Unless you're having
sex.
Yeah.
And
then if you're on top, you can tell them.
My last couple office jobs, I had one close female and one close male friend, and they both would have been probably chill with me talking about a show like this. So that's good. Like it was, you know.
But again, don't tell your inferiors. That's a terrible word. But
that's what I was gonna say. I had a team of sexy girls working under me. Technically, I was the leader and monitoring them to make sure they don't mess up. And one time I had to bring him into a meeting, and it was adorable because it's a couple of hot ladies, and basically I was going through, hey, we're gonna review this stuff and talk about how to do this, and it was stuff they already knew how to do, and I was giving more details of how to do it correctly. One of them said, "What? I don't really quite get what this meeting's for," and the girl next door said, "We're fucking up and he's correcting us." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, pretty much, kind of, but not that bad. It's just we need to get better." But yeah, I see what you're saying. But it was hilarious. So yeah.
Oh my God,
anyway,
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I wouldn't go to them and tell them to listen to a sex show.
I'm gonna leave you alone for all of your beautiful stories. Y'all take care of him for the next 8 to 15 minutes. I promise I'll be right back and we will start the podcast promptly. I love you guys. I'll be right back.
Good luck.
I'm going to mute myself and turn off my video. Okay.
Well, now that she is, Mayo, worst timing ever, but maybe best timing ever because I will need you. So thank you, Mayo. What's up? Oh, dude, 𝐒𝐻𝐿 sexual fantasy. Oh my God. I tend to binge watch Mando. Like I wait for a while and then because sometimes cliffhangers don't vibe with me. I love a good cliffhanger, don't get me wrong. But sometimes if a cliffhanger is done poorly, it really gets me angry, and I have to revert to like 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸 and IG-88. No, is it IG-88? No, IG. What's his number? It is IG. No, wait. IG-88 is the bounty hunter. What's the IG? What's the droid in the beginning? Anyway, I'm flashing back because I'm sadly I'm making stories about two characters who are no longer on the show right now. But you never know. I have spoken. How you doing, Mail? How you doing? This is the way. Thanks for being here. Long time no see, man. I hope things are going well. How are you? We'll make this into a live stream before she comes back. Have you told your boss yet, or a coworker who wouldn't, and a boss or a coworker who wouldn't get you in trouble for talking about the show? 11, right? It's 11. IG-88 and 11. It's those doubles. Dude. Yeah, please don't spoil it for me yet. I had to say that early, so I'm like, but 𝐻𝐵, get it on. Oh, yeah. You love the movie cliffhanger. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, that movie cliffhanger. And I actually quoted Adam Carolla, so this is kind of from him, but it always was a thing that bothered me as well. Why is that guy in the beginning of the movie cliffhanger? Spoiler alert, no. Why is he bringing his super hot girlfriend who doesn't know what's going on to the top of a mountain that's really fucking hard to climb? And then when there's a malfunction or there's things going wrong, like, and there's a problem with because of how dangerous and hard it is, that he blames 𝐿𝐴 When I'm like, you know what? You might want to get her on the beginner wall first. Just saying. She's too hot to put in that risk. Now maybe you secretly hated her and you were looking for a way. This is a perfect relationship example, the beginning of the movie cliffhanger. Because they got bros, right? There's 𝐿𝐴 and then he's got his best bro. Climbing buddies, dude. Super hot. Arms have to be like, in shape. Whole body have to be in shape. They're climbing the hardest mountains. They're tour guides or whatever, I guess, or at a park. But then Sylvester Stallone's buddy wants to take his super fucking hot lady up to this really hard place to climb. I mean, to me it sounds like that guy was looking for a way to end two relationships. One, end the relationship with Stallone, and two, end the relationship with her because she about to be gone. So yeah. I mean, I understand the idea that that's true. That's, again, pride comes before the fall, as they say. He had the pride of we're professional. We could do this. And I'm not only professional, Sylvester Stallone's professional too. So let's go. We can do this climbing with this hot lady who I love on one of the most dangerous peaks in the world, or something like that. They had to put the stakes high, right? And then who was the bad guy in that? It was not John Cleese. It was the other. Was he British? It's the guy on what's it called? Third Rock from the Sun. Not John Cleese. Who was the bad guy? What's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun? Do you know guys his name? Third Rock from the Sun, right? Anyway. Yeah. That movie is fantastic. It's a great classic 80s flick. Probably in the 90s. I have no idea. Did I watch season 2? Yeah. I watched season 2. I haven't watched the new one. I'm just waiting. Yep. Complicated? Hashtag relatable, my friend. But if it wasn't complicated, everyone would do it. The complication is what makes it great. You got this, Mayo. Lean on friends. Lean on me when you're not strong. And I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Or others will, who are better than me. But yeah. Make sure it's live chat. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Hang on. Did I change it? I did. Okay, good. Whew. Exactly. Mash them like buttons and stuff too. And all the good stuff. What am I saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing. With a typo. Anyway. You've all seen Cliffhanger, right? What do you want to say about Mando up to season 2? Ooh, what's What's the sexiest show you're watching right now, actually? Too. I tend to binge. I was sad. I did see Cassian Andor, and I watched that whole thing, and it wasn't as sexy as I thought it would be. Although, Mon Mothma was hotter than I thought she would be. But other than that, there was not really like any sexiness. It was kind of nitty and gritty. Who was hot in that? Other than Cassian. Trying to think. And I'm also surprised, like, Andor's a spy, right? Everybody knows this. James Bond built it. Everyone knows the biggest temptation for spies, and in like even international spies are like, they talk about it all the time now, and CIA, all the other, like, what is it, KGB, Chinese spies, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're named. Someday they'll get a name, or they don't like that. That's why they're so good. They don't even have a name. We don't even know what that is. But anyway, they always use honeypots, right? They always use like the chance of romance and sex and love to get the info. They need more of that in Andor. I just gotta say, where's the hot lady? They even made it where he's looking for his sister. And I do not like the desexualization of ancient tribes, because that's the story. I mean, it's episode 1, so I'm not spoiling anything. He's in this old tribe. He comes from that. I'm telling you, that tribe gets it on. But where's the honeypots? Where's the ladies that's saying, hey, you're a tribesman who doesn't get to get it on with much people because you've been disconnected from your tribe now. And everyone knows, like, every movie, like, again, even if you're a spy or if you're a revenge spy, or like Cassian Andor is, or a mission spy where he's got that tension building up of what he's trying to do in his life from his past, it helps to get loose every now and then with some sexual loosen up that sexual tension. But they didn't do that at all in Andor, and I was very surprised. Gotta be honest, surprised, very surprised. It makes sense with Obi-Wan because he's a Jedi. You can't put in that sexual. You can't put a honeypot you can't try to seduce a Jedi. You can. It only works on Anakin. It's been proven. But for Andor, get that shit going on. You know what I mean? Anyway, John Lithgow. Yeah, John Lithgow's great. I love that guy. He was very fantastic as a good guy and a bad guy, just like Al Bundy. Good, Mayo. Yeah. I missed a couple, I think, probably in the beginning of the show because I forgot to change it. So make sure you guys change it to live chat instead of top chat. Top chat means YouTube filters and chooses what you see as top. YouTube's on top chat. It'll say, you want to say the word sex or dick or cock or vag or pussy? Well, it's too bad. That's not top where YouTube comes from. And in a Sexytime show, it's very rude. So go to live chat. Don't worry, YouTube allows the way. They're not that bad. You have to go to live. Writer's perspective, Andor is better show than Kenobi. It's sad that you agree. Been working on making your own unique superhero and had a certain... Ooh, nice. Writing shit down. If you're an Andor spy in Star Wars movie. Oh. I love Al Bundy too. In fact, often when streams are over, I turn into like Al Bundy immediately. Now I'm bored. Aw. But yeah. So, big fan of Al Bundy and Pussy. Al Bundy. That's cool, Mayo. Better than Kenobi? Yeah, because I really liked a lot of the stuff they did in Andor. I gotta admit. Better? I mean, yeah. It's better written and better constructed of what they're trying to do. Kenobi tries to pull on weird things. Kenobi has cognitive dissonance. Meaning, it don't make no fucking sense. But Andor does, and they pull off what they were doing. Again, I'm not saying because of the lack of honeypots it was ruined, but I would love to see Andor have to deal with that, or at least attempts. You know what I mean? There wasn't really an attempt. The closest thing was like episode 1, like first scene was the closest thing, I guess, where he's in a hot place. But they didn't really try to tempt him that much, you know? And I feel a little uncomfortable desexualizing ancient nomadic tribes. Sorry, they get it on a lot. I've seen so many videos of people who try to go and live with them and stuff, and they even like offer their wives to the people sometimes in some places. I'm like, yeah, they know the power of sex and use it too, man. You know what I mean? And relationships and stuff, and maybe that was a test. If you say yes to someone's wife, it could be a test to do some things. But still, they even try to honeypot with wives, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Where's that in Andor? Let's keep it real. Every time he tried to, like, so there in Andor there was these people. I think, did he try? I don't think so. He didn't even try. But like there was, like when he was actually close to a bunch of girls, and they were pretty hot. I think one of them said, "Don't even bother trying to be with her because those two girls are together." But I'm like, okay, that's fine. But he needs to like go to other girls and try. You know what I mean? Or other girls need to try to tempt him. Didn't make much sense there, you know? I hope Alice is getting her shifts. And that can and can't be a euphemism. Does shifts turn you on? Just the word turns me on. Isn't that interesting? I think they got me. The characters in Andor, they must have better. Ah, yes. I agree with that, Mayo. Better, like I said, more well written and more. They pulled off what I could see what they were trying to do. Kenobi was trying to pull off some things, and I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy. Don't come at me when you overuse Jedis and the Force. Now you're in my and the Sith and Darth. There's too much knowing already. The reason Cassian Andor was easier to write for is because there's no preconceptions. We don't really know Mon Mothma other than she has this love for Bothans dying, or this lament for Bothans dying. Other than that, we don't really know much about Mon Mothma except she's probably dead inside. From the way she talks and talking about Bothans, she's a bit scarred. But it was easier to write for it because then it's like we could do whatever we want with Mon Mothma. We could do whatever we want with Andor. Shit, let's go. But with Kenobi, you had Darth, you got Leia. It was like, oh, sorry, it's going to be harder to write for. And if you slip up, especially with Force and Jedi stuff and Sith stuff, it's just too easy to mess up. And again, they need to get back in the Force. And if they didn't write it that way, it's tough. Everybody get down with the Force. Everybody do the Force in the night. Please do. Don't worry, Mayo. I'm riffing with you until we get to the sexy time. Because when we get back, we're recording and going straight to the sexy time questions, so don't worry. So, again, we're speaking a lot of TV and movies. What is a new-ish TV show or movie where it's really sexy for you? You know what I mean? What is the sexiest, most attractive TV or movie that you recently watched? If you say Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, or whatever that Mario movie is, it doesn't come out here till the end of the month in Japan, so I can't watch it yet. But I mean, Princess Peach is fucking hot. I'll tell you that. That was a call I will never forget. Worked at Nintendo, got a call. Father very upset. No, was it mother? Can't remember who it was. They were both upset, the parents, but who was the one pushing? I think it was the mother was pushing for it. Yeah, she really wanted me to make Princess Peach less sexy. I wish I had that power. I wish I could ramp up and down characters' sexiness, especially at Nintendo of America. But yeah, and when I was wondering, you know, over the phone, they're really nice. I mean, my job was to be nice too, so, and kind. So hey, I'll be happy to take your feedback. May I ask why? And it was because they caught their son looking at how hot Princess Peach was and jacking off a bit too much. And they said, you know what? It's all Princess Peach's fault. She's got to be less sexy. Our son is an angel. Our son's an angel, and he's jacking off to Princess Peach. It must be Princess Peach's fault. That was the logic. This was a real call. For a while, I thought it was a prank, and then I realized, oh, these parents are serious. And it's 2 people, not just one trying to fuck with me. Anyway, so I get it. The Mario movie might be the sexiest movie you've seen so far. Depends on what you're doing. But anyway, and she is a princess. I mean, good to aim up. Do your best. Try to rise to that occasion. Rise up with her. That makes sense. Should have done Luke instead of Leia, which was the original idea. It was the original? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, they will. Oh, wait. No, they won't. They have to. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, they should have. Definitely. Although I think Leia is actually no, I think Leia was a better choice because Luke is a more fleshed out character and Leia is less in the movies in the trilogy, unfortunately. She's not the main from the original trilogy. So I would want Leia to be the one. I just don't like the way they did Leia sometimes, you know? It didn't. And actually I like the way what they were trying to do, but it made, because the writers wanted Obi-Wan to like be always lost, which is weird. It was just like, no, you can't completely lose who Obi-Wan is, you know? And it was just like, it didn't make much sense. Yeah. And
I leave you for 3 minutes and you're already talking about Star Wars.
Well, that was Mayo's fault. He got
Hi, Mayo.
and it wasn't always Star Wars. We talked about sexy everything. Did you get it, please?
Oh, so, well, I got like the worst trip, but I got a trip.
Oh, well.
I'm going to be working 3 flights tomorrow, starting at 5 a.m. and then 5 flights the next day, and then 4 flights the next day. So pray for me.
Good luck. You could do it.
That's a tough trip.
Blame Indy.
Some people like that stuff. I
Time for
prefer
Star
the
Wars,
long
Dr.
flights.
Jones.
It's
jamming them together. I see. The short.
Yeah, the second day will be 5 1-hour flights basically, and I'm going to be running around like a crazy person trying to get everybody drinks in no time at all. Yeah.
I tried.
You guys are having quite the conversation. Maybe I should go away more often.
I tried to bring it back. I tried because I was like, hey, this is perfect.
Who's been with 3 professionals?
We talked about I was asking what's the sexiest or most sexy movie or TV series that you've been a recent one, you know what I mean? We also talked about the Hot Lady and Cliffhanger and that thing going on. So it wasn't all Star Wars, but it was all entertainment. I will say that.
Oh, okay. Well, you are always entertaining. What's not entertaining is that I have to get up at 4 a.m. So let's get this going.
Let's go.
Thanks for dealing
Mayo.
with my
Thanks,
neediness
Monster J.
tonight. Woo woo! I love you guys.
Oh, it's
and
not
thanks
that.
for keeping him company.
Trust me, I've been in way needier relationships than this, and I think many who are listening probably have as well. So, our pleasure.
Hey, sometimes you need something, and you just gotta say it.
Gotta ask, yeah, or say and ask. Sometimes ask, sometimes say. Sometimes demand. That's important too.
I'm gonna be busy over the next couple of days, but you know what I know? I'm not gonna have to pay for this hotel room for the next 2 nights because I got a trip.
Excellent. Congrats. I'm glad you got something.
I got something. Oh. I tried 3 things before I got this one, and all of them are taken. Oh. Those barracudas.
I swear it's definitely AI. They programmed something, those fuckers. Anyway,
barracudas.
Too many people making...
Do you think I could say, like, hey, Google Bing... Wait, no, it's Google Bard. Hey, Bing. Hey... OpenAI, could you please grab a trip for me off of
so
this
great.
website?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
here's my login information.
Sure, I'll be happy to help you with that. Unfortunately, as an AI bot, I cannot do that request. But what I can do is write you code to write a program that helps you cheat. That's what I think it would say. That's what I'm guessing it would say.
Weird. Anyway, I'm not going to do that because that's wrong, and I could get fired.
Yeah, you're not gonna do that.
Let's do the thing.
ChatGPT tries to get you fired every time, so we've already shown
You're
that.
not a barracuda.
Let's go.
You mean you haven't had barracudas? So the barracudas would be grabbing you up.
Ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Oh, I love that song.
3, 2, 1. We can talk over this. I edited it out. Don't worry.
Welcome to
No.
Sexytime, where we answer your questions about sex, relationships, and everything sexy in between. Don't forget, you can send your burning questions by voice or email to sexytimedlove@gmail.com. That's sexytime, DLOVE, @gmail.com. Anonymous questions are welcome. Thanks for hooking up with us today. Now, let's cozy up and join our hosts, Aliz and BK Johnsen.
Hey, welcome back to Sexy Time. Hey there, Alice.
Woo woo. Hey there, BK.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm in another
Ceremonies.
sexy hotel room.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I am, and I'm happy to see you in your usual surroundings.
Yeah, I forgot. We should warn the podcast listeners. Thank you for listening, wherever you may be or
Yeah, the
watching.
sound quality may be a little different on my end.
That'll be different. And if there's some
But
rowdy...
at least I won't be in an airport.
That's true. There's no muting for that, but you might have to mute for some rowdy sexual activity by the neighbors next door.
Not likely, but possible. I haven't heard that here before.
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
It is possible.
Yeah. So, thank you all for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching. We are on YouTube, youtube.com/Sexytime
Or listening.
Podcast. We're on all your podcast places like Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, all those. Please give us 5 stars and be sure to send us a comment with how awesome we are. That's what we like to
You
hear.
forgot Amazon Music. I like to listen to my
Amazon.
podcast on Amazon Music because I can put it on my Alexa. It's easy. I can just like boss that bitch around and be like, "Hey Alexa, play the latest episode of this podcast."
Awesome. I have to check that out. Is it kind of like, can you give ratings and leave comments there too? Is that what they have?
Good question. I don't know.
Cool. I'm going to check it out.
I mean, yes, you can, but like on the computer. I don't know if you can do it like through an Alexa app. Like, I don't know if you can do that. But for sure on the computer or through Amazon Music, the app, like, yes, you can leave ratings and reviews.
Spotify, I haven't been able to find one yet for that, but I had on Apple for sure. But yeah, we're on all of those. So definitely come on over. Give us a like, all the rating, all that stuff.
Come on over, baby.
And of course, our Patreons, we couldn't do it without all of you, non-Patreon and Patreon alike, but we do have a shout out to you on Patreon. So now's a good time to talk about that. Patreon.com/Sexytime Podcast. Please come on over and check it out. We have tons of tiers that are sexy for you, and we really appreciate all of you, any tier or anyone listening. Oops, I thought I had the list, but I think I closed it. Anyway, I think I can start. Monster J. Thank you so much. Mark. Thank you so much. It's Shirley.
Woo.
Sure Bear.
Woo. Woo.
Thank you so much. And last but definitely not least is Koala.
Woohoo.
You rock.
Koalas
Thank
don't
you.
make that sound, but I try. I think you cannot, in fact, leave ratings and reviews. It looks like just Apple Podcasts, probably.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the only one. But let's come on over to Apple. Leave us that.
Very interesting.
But wherever you listen to your podcast, click that share. I use multiple, what's it called? Platforms. And one of them that's really has, when I search for stuff, like Podbean is one that I use a lot. And I was like, I didn't remember if we set up like Podbean yet, but when I went on there, it's like, oh, Sexy Time's there too. So yeah, we're pretty much anywhere where you get your podcast. So make sure you share it with a friend.
There was like a niche podcast thing that kept emailing us at sexytimedlove@gmail.com. I don't know if we ever responded to them. I don't think we ever did. I don't know. Maybe we should get on the.
Oh, it's like a new one type of thing?
I don't remember. It was like a niche. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They reached out to us, which was kind of cool. I dug that.
All right. Well, let's try to get on there too. As long as it's not an exclusivity contract, that'd be interesting.
No. I like to be findable. It's really good to just be out there because, look, what we do is mostly volunteer. I mean, we're super grateful to our patrons, and really, like, in many ways, we couldn't do the show without you. You do keep us going, and also we keep each other going too, because and the community keeps us going. We're here because we love each other and we love you guys, and we love being able to just create a sex positive place online and in the airwaves, and on YouTube, for people to be able to interact, ask safe questions, and feel like they're not alone. I definitely felt alone when I first came out as poly, and things like this, I know, helped me, and I think help other people as well. So we're just happy to be here, and we're grateful for all of you who have been here listening, who give us reviews, who show up in the chat, who support us on patreon.com/Sexytime podcast. Or is it just Sexytime?
Patreon.com? It's Sexytime podcast.
Thank you. We're just so grateful to all of you for putting it out there, for telling your friends and family and bosses if they're cool. My boss just told me he listened to the podcast. I was super happy about that. So, again, be careful with that. But if you've got a good relationship with people and you can tell them about the show, tell them about the show, because we want to be able to be there for more people. And we're just grateful to be here for you. I probably ramble about this on like every other show. And
no, but I think it's very important. Yeah. I'm happy you do it too, because it definitely, every time you do it, it brings back some important points and reminders for myself as well, where when I had my first huge breakup and felt like my heart was stomped, and I felt alone too. That was one of the hardest parts, where it's like I didn't really have many people who I felt I could talk to about it. And that's why I'm really appreciative of each of you who share your questions and sometimes share your stories. We are definitely pro privacy as well, so you can always just ask a question anonymously, and we'll make sure we don't mention who it is or anything like that. So we definitely, and we err on that side of caution. So if you forget to say, I want this anonymous, we will just say, okay, we'll put it anonymous. So we appreciate all your questions and opening up, because sometimes you definitely do need to talk to someone or get a second opinion, or just get someone's thoughts on it, so that you don't feel that alone. And I do resonate to that as well. I definitely wish I had someone to talk to about what's going on and get some alternate viewpoints when I was in my darkest times back in college. so yeah, that made me think of that. So thank you, and thank you for allowing us to do that, everybody, by sharing your questions and stories.
Yeah. So we got our sexy Q&A night tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a very sweet first question.
Oh, let's go.
So this is from someone, we don't know the age, who says they were in a relationship until February.
Okay.
And they haven't gone on a date in a very long while.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, so we do know that they're young.
What, they said that, or?
There's a cute girl in my class.
Okay.
And I asked her out. We're going to meet up on school. Oh, sorry. We're going to meet up after school on Friday. After school, we're going to be taking a walk and enjoying the view from the top of a building. It's really private and lovely. It's still a little chilly outside, but it's going to be sunny. And I'm expecting lots of good weather for this lovely private afternoon.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
What do I do to make this time special for both of us? Should I bring anything like food? Should I go there early in advance and prepare something? I really want to make it special, but I'm a little afraid to go overboard. I think women sometimes worry that we're a little bit too much. And I'm wondering if bringing anything other than drinks would be overboard. What should I do?
Mm. Is it anything but drinks? Is what they say? What did they say at the end there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so they
Yeah. So first he asked if he could bring food or anything else to go there a day. He said go there a bit early and prepare something. But he doesn't want to go overboard.
I love how anything more than drinks, because drinks are usually the thing that to loosen up more than the other things. So I was like, interesting. I thought it was didn't want to maybe bring drinks, but no, he was thinking of already bringing drinks.
Can I just say,
okay,
how friggin' sweet is this to start like
exactly,
first date, and you're like, oh, we've got this private rooftop and I want to make it special and maybe I should go there early and prepare. Like how darling. Anyway, I'll let you answer.
First things first, I was going to go down that vein too. First things first, the good news is it already is special. You said it's the first time you just asked her out, right? This is like the first date is what he said?
Yeah.
So that makes it special. You made it already special by this is not normal for a first date. It's special already. And you've already said this is going to be great. It's going to, the one thing you said negative was like, oh, it might be too chilly, but it's going to be sunny, so it should be fine. And everything else is great. It's like, this is special already. So, again, and you're on the right vibe where you're internally thinking that I don't want to overdo it and overthink. And I would say you should also be mindful of not overthinking it. Because again, you've already met the requirements of it being special, to be honest, and then you have to live in that moment of the date and go with the flow of how it goes, because you can't control how a date goes. You can't control how that other person reacts to whatever it is you're doing or setting up or not setting up, whatever comes in that flow. So then you basically want to live in do that the best would be, because other than what you're preparing. Now, one thing that I would say, because you can always add, you're talking about like adding a little spice to it, right? Which is fine. You just, again, but it's just like cooking. If you add too much spice or salt, you can't eat it anymore. So it's going to be terrible. You overdid it, right? So you're trying to add even more. And I would say like the main thing is not try to go into like making, the more you add from your own pot, from your own recipe, the more it's going to be like it can get complicated and overdo it and like kind of ruin the meal, right? So I would just say, since it's a first date, if you're going to do something, if you definitely want to add on more than what you're already doing, I would say make it thoughtful to what you know about her. So for example, if she really likes something, just say, okay, what do you know about her is what I would say. And go down that vein. Don't go by like, oh, she should like this because this is crazy, or like this is what I would, or like this would be exciting to try. And it's like, oh, that's fine. You can do that maybe later. Probably, I'd say don't shoot all those cannons that these creative juices flowing, which are great to try to make special dates or special moments together with them. That's awesome. But to do it all on the first date, that's where you might be worried. So I would go with thoughtful of what you know about her. So for example, even if it was something like a dating app, and in their app, in their profile, it says they really like this, you could even get something, it could be something as simple as, if you were an artist, or I mean, I'm not, but I would, if I wanted to write like a little, note and just draw a picture of a doggy on it, and because she says she likes dogs, or like draw a little cat or whatever, like it could be something as small as that, but just saying you're thinking of them. And then after you do that, don't let those things that you're preparing be the focus of the date. Get in the moment. That is the key. Don't like say, okay, like trying to prepare and over plan to say, okay, I just need to survive long enough to get to this next special surprise that I planned up. That's going to be terrible. You need to go there, be in the moment, and start the relationship that way is what I would recommend most.
That's so sweet. It's funny. You gave just the right answer, and the opposite of what I was going to say.
Oh, what was it?
And I think you're actually right. I was going to say, it sounds like you guys don't really know each other yet, because you're in class. She's a cute girl is what you said, right? So I'm guessing you don't know much about her. So I would say, I mean, and this isn't terrible advice, but it's not as thoughtful as yours, BK. I would say, like, think about what you want to be comfortable to enjoy the day in the afternoon in a maybe chilly location on the top of a building. Like, that can get chilly. Do you need a sweatshirt? Do you need a blanket? Do you need hot cocoa or something to keep you warm? What do you need that would make that experience more enjoyable for you? And then bring that and bring enough for both of you, so that you're being considerate but you're not going overboard with like, oh, I did all these things because I wanted you to be comfortable. It's like, well, I thought that this would be good for us on this kind of day, you know. And then that way it's a little more chill and you have everything you need. It's sort of like bringing your favorite alcohol to the party. You know, you want to be generous, but also bring enough that you're feeling comfortable, right? So there's that. The other suggestion that could work well is if you're going to be going by a shop, like you said it's on top of a building, so I'm guessing you live in a city. Are you going to be going from school to this building, and then there's like a place in between where you can buy snacks? Maybe you go together and you go pick out some stuff that you guys might enjoy together. Or, you know, maybe the building is just the very beginning of the date. You guys go to a movie afterwards, or you do something else. Like, totally up to you. And it might be fun to find out what she wants. And that's where, like, I think having like a cafe or a shop, or even like, you know, vending machine with snacks in your school. If you're going to the roof of the building you're already in, you know, like I just see what she wants and get it together is my other suggestion.
I love it. In Japan, it'd be perfect because there's vending machines everywhere. There's going to be something you can shop together easily.
You guys have vending machines for all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's perfect because it's kind of like last week's theme of be prepared, which I totally disregarded, unfortunately, but you're completely right. I love it. Where I think that the thing is that trying to focus on comfort over control. Because a lot of the times we get in the mindset of like, oh, this will really make her happy or impress her or whatever you think. You know, this is going to be perfect for this. And I like how you're also, it's true. The way you get to the comfort over control is it's not only for her, it's for you too, right? Because you know the situation going into what you just said in the question. So what would you do for yourself? And then make sure that that's there for her too, just in case she needs it too. I love that. That's perfect. Instead of trying to only say, what would she want? What would make her this way? Because the more you get in that vibe, it's more like, I did this nice thing for you, and then you expect nice things back when she didn't have the time to prepare. So it's like actually unfair. And a lot of the time,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, no, think of what you would want, and then don't shove it down her throat unless she asks for it. And then then it's on. It's on.
Well done. Well done. Then it's on.
But do it for her just like you're doing it for you. I love it. That was great. I do like that example or that advice. That was.
Thank you.
We totally dominated that question.
Woo.
Nailed it. All right, let me.
I hope you think so too.
Let me. Oh, and in chat, I was asking on the side what they would do. One was cheesecake. Cheesecake is never a bad thing unless they're allergic to cheese.
My response, aside from the fact that cheesecake is amazing, is that cannolis are very sexy.
Oh.
I think cannolis are very sexy.
Mm.
They're hard, they're phallic, and they've got cream inside. I mean, come on.
I agree. Cannolis are fantastic.
Even if you're all about the ladies and not about the dick, there's still cream in there to lick out. I'm just saying.
It's not.
Just saying.
You gotta be comfortable with your sexuality. I like bananas too. But anyway, so here's one. It's short and sweet. It's one of our listeners who sent an email. A lot of the times we get these on Discord and other places, but this is an email. So
every day I hope it's from a female.
This is the question. I just want to know what. Well, that's me. Wait, you want it from a female too? Oh, yeah, that is Homestar Runner. You're right, it is. The email. All right, so talking about nudes, and they want our thoughts on it. Taking a sexy photo for your partner or of them, and sometimes even a random person on Tinder. I just want to know what you two think about sending nude images as a whole, and more importantly, what can we do to remain safe while enjoying these activities with each other? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a good question. So, look, you got to realize that when people warn you about things, there's a reason for it. And you have to be willing to live with the potential consequences of your actions. how would you feel if a nude of yourself or your partner were leaked to the world? Or if someone were to try to blackmail you, say, you know, send your naked picture to all of your contacts, including your mother. Unfortunately, this is the small percentage of the world in which we live. And the more you put yourself out there, the greater that risk becomes. Just, you know, what's the word? Statistically. The more you put yourself out there, the more you put photos of yourself out there, the more likely somebody is going to, at some point, threaten or do something nefarious with those photos.
I had no idea this might need a trigger warning, but my heart is racing. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. Well, look, I am still currently dealing with an active stalker. And I recognize that some of the decisions I made in my past as a live streamer allowed that person to access me in ways that I wish they weren't able to. Now, that said, I think I was doing the best that I could. No, I did not listen to some people's advice about some things. Do I wish that I had? Yes, but also I don't blame myself. There's no shame here in this. And I live with the consequences of the actions that I took or didn't take to protect myself in this case. Now, again, we're not talking about stalkers here. We're talking about nudes. But, you know, I think you're talking about encouraging people to send you nudes, and that's fine, especially because, you know, judging by this question, it doesn't sound like you want to do anything nefarious with them. So that's great. However, I think it's really important to decide for yourself what risks you're willing to live with. What consequences you're willing to live with. And let's just go with worst case scenario. Somebody, you're on Tinder and somebody says to you, hey, I'd really love a photo of your dick. And you send a picture of your dick with your face in it. And they say back to you, thanks, now you need to give me $5 million or that's a gross number, but
$10,000 a month.
5,000. We'll say $5,000.
Okay, yeah.
Or I'm going to send this to everyone that you've ever known and loved. I've got your contacts already. I've already hacked into your phone. Blah. It's not without the realm of possibility. It's not likely, but it is possible. Okay, so let's just say like that's the worst case scenario, or that the number's much higher. Whatever. Are you willing to?
Or if the penis is very small, worst scenario.
Yeah, sure. And you're not happy about that. Maybe
Exactly.
you're happy that your penis is just the right size for Goldilocks. I don't know, but my question for you is: are you willing to live with that consequence? And if the answer is yes, then go ahead willy-nilly and throw out your willy to anyone who asks for it. If you were not willing to live with that consequence, then think about who and how and when you trust people. So are you going to trust the person you haven't even had a FaceTime with? I mean, there are certain safeguards you could put in place for this, right? You could insist on having a FaceTime with somebody so that you know that the person who's talking is the person in their photo. That's one. You could make sure that you've met with this person at least once or so many times, that you have seen their LinkedIn profile, that you know that they have friends on Facebook, whatever it might be, right? You verified for yourself that this is in fact a real person. You're not being catfished in any way. and you feel comfortable, again, each step of these verification processes removes some risk, but maybe not all, because you're still going to get to the point where even if you've dated this person, even if heck you've married this person, when you get divorced, they may be mad enough to do any number of things with said nude photos. There's no way to 100% protect yourself against any risk. And all love comes with some risk.
Yeah. Just like all relationships. Every relationship does, yeah. Not even loving ones. Just, yeah.
You're so right. And anytime you trust somebody, you're taking a risk. And that's not to scare you. That's not to say don't trust people. That's just to say love and relationships and life are worth the risk, but you got to decide what risk and how to safeguard against it. So again, my recommendations to you are, if you want to be safer, don't exchange nudes with somebody that you've met online and haven't yet met in person, or you haven't been able to verify their actual identity with very close to 100% certainty. The other thing you could do is, if you are going to send nude photos, do what the kids do on OnlyFans: wear a mask, don't show your head. And when you're on the dating websites, if you want to be careful about that, use a different name until you meet somebody in person and you feel like you've trusted them. Use a pseudonym, and that way people aren't going to connect you to your profile, even if you do send them some nudes. But again, it's better if you haven't met somebody and you're going to send some nudes, don't send them with your head attached.
Yeah, even chat was like, 101 of sending nudes is don't put your face on there.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry it took me so long to get there. But
no, that's fine. It's fine. I do think so. Yeah, great. I know it is a very important question and a great question. So thank you for emailing that in. One thing that comes to mind is, I'm going to try to put it in a different way too, because I agree with what you're saying there, Alice. And what's really pinging on me is kind of the things we do and try to like lament later or point the blame at things outside of what, more lean the blame on one thing more than the other. So for example, it's kind of to me like loaning money or something like that, where before you do it, you should take a reflection about like the consequences, and then say, if that happens, that's fine, before you say yes or no, right? I mean, the same thing, you said relationships, same thing with sex. I think it is just the same thing, where it's like, before I have sex with this person, before I even have a relationship with this person, is this, what was the worst thing could happen? Then I can take that risk. What the problem is usually we don't think about what the, possibilities are. And then when it goes poorly, you put all the blame on that other person, right? So, where it's like that's wrong, and everyone will agree that would be wrong. You're saying we did this privately, we sent nudes to each other, and they're being a jerk by blackmailing me or even just a revenge porn type stuff. It's not like they don't want any money, they're just trying to attack you from that, and there was a agreement there. But again, that's why I do agree with what you're saying, Alice, where you need to make sure it's like, okay, worst case scenario, if that does happen and they try to just put these pictures out or whatever, for whatever reason, whether for money or for just harm and being a dick, then you can live with that, right? You can say, you know what, I can live with that. It was my responsibility. I didn't have to send those nudes. I trusted them, and fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? Type of thing, where it's like, okay, then the next time you'd be more careful with that, and you live and learn. And but if you do go through thinking I can live with that, then it's going to be on you again more, not more, but 50-50. It's always 50-50, just like every relationship. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that they're a dick and that you trusted them and you shouldn't have 100%. It was like, no, many people would fall for the same trust and the same thing. So 50% of the thing was you felt you could live with it. And then the 50% was them being a dick, usually in these situations, or being outright scammy and a piece of shit. So, but that's what I would say too, is understand that. And it's but you can And it's difficult because I think we get so excited in these things because it's so rare that we actually have someone who wants to do these things with us, or that we have a bunch of people who wants to do these things with us. Same thing with sex. It's like, oh, this is exciting, and that excitement can get you out of there, but out of the moment and say, shit, I wish I didn't do that because I'm putting myself at risk. So I would just say, really be careful of that. and it's good that you're asking this first, because that means you have been thinking about it. But for anyone who hasn't been, that can actually get you carried away, where it's like, no, this person will never do that, or no, I really like them and I'm pretty sure, they like me too, or they love me and I love them. It's not going to happen. It's like, yeah, but you never know. Like, I've been married for 16 years now, and it's, if my wife did that, yeah, I would be surprised and saddened, but I wouldn't be like, it's all her fault. 100% fault that she is betraying me now. It's like, there's usually something else going on, right? Like, so if there's something, and it could even be down to 10% something I did, and it's fine. But again, it's not all their fault. And I'm saying that even in long-lasting relationships, I wouldn't want to shift the 100% blame to something like that later, and because it'll only drag you down in your life. Like, it hurts you more than them, right? It's what they talk about with revenge and things like that. But that hurts you more than them. It's like trying to take poison and hurt them, right? You're not letting that go. So in worst case scenario, it is someone you've been in with it for a long time, and then you trusted them, that happens. And it's like, the more you hold on to that, they're 100% in the wrong, and I'm completely, not responsible here. It'll hurt you more than them. So hopefully you can learn from it and then never do that again, or whatever it is that you decide in each relationship or phase of your life. So it's okay. And
when you're thinking about these things, I think it's always good to consider how you might protect yourself from a place of loving yourself rather than like from a place of fear. And we talk about fear versus love sometimes here, but if you're older and you've got a child, you know what it's like to want to protect your child. If you have a puppy, if you have a partner that you've loved in the past, or, a sibling, or just somebody that you love unconditionally, imagine how you would want to protect them in this scenario. And then protect yourself with that same level of love and care.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things in the chat too, talking about these thoughts and experiences, because I will share, in the old days, I did have like pictures of an old girlfriend back in high school time in like lingerie stuff. And like, I always kept that like on my hard drive, because again, it's like, why not? And in this day, it's going to be something that's not like, in the old days, maybe they didn't have the computers and stuff or internet. So it's like, I'll keep the underwear or something, but then if you lose it, it's gone forever or whatever, right? Whatever it is, or a Polaroid, right? But Polaroid's easier to destroy, So like, there's like that. But then when I was looking at, and one day I happened upon the hard drive backups as I was cleaning it up, like cleaning out storage, and I was like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, that would be bad if they found that, or if this happens to go public. So I deleted them. But you know what I mean? Where it's like, those things can happen too. So I was just young and I didn't think of those things. And plus this was like over 20 years ago. So, like, I wasn't in this digital age. Luckily it's more prevalent in our minds. And I think maybe if I was a teenager now, I might not have done it that way. So thinking about it, but maybe not. We all make mistakes, but I didn't let it get out, luckily. But I was like, I even went to the point of like, what if I just like lost this hard drive and then it ends up on the internet? I was like, or like if I had to, or if I just was gone for some reason, or what if this hard drive was found, and I'd feel bad for those pictures, even though, I wasn't even thinking of it at the moment. It's
so funny. I've listened to, I talk about him a lot, I guess, because I listen to his podcast. But, I think about the way Dan Savage has answered similar questions, I think. One, unfortunately, where somebody really was blackmailed and was trying to figure out what to do. And, he often waxes poetic about the day when all dick pics are out there and no one will be ashamed. And, there is a world in which, like, I feel like the more the internet is a thing, the more people are sharing everything everywhere all at once. You know,
Nice.
the
Nice
more
reference.
all of this stuff is gonna, thank you. The more all of this stuff is just gonna be out there, and it's just gonna get out there, and no one's gonna be ashamed, and no one's gonna be shocked anymore, because it's just gonna be commonplace, like it is in France. You know, people in France aren't afraid of boobs. Just, you know, be a little more French, but you know, do take care of yourself and those around you, because it is true that in this age of the internet, sometimes when things get out there, you can't really erase them. That said, I do also hope that the time comes soon when we're not so damn ashamed of this stuff, and we can just live with it and be like, yes, that is my body. You should be amazed.
Right? Yeah, it's good. We couldn't even do those things in
and
the old
mom's
days.
not going to go, oh my God,
I know. It's so that's an interesting thing on its own, with the, you know, all the thoughts of, well, they must have had sex to have me.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure your mom had sex.
You know,
We just don't want to think about it.
topic.
But I'm just saying
I
that
could go off on
she
that topic
judging
for the
you
longest time.
for that is kind of weird.
Like,
I'm not saying we should
that is
think of
the
these things, but yeah.
funniest thing to me. But like, I have this conversation with people all the time. Like, there's a person I have worked with. There's a person, I'm just going to make this as vague as humanly possible. There's a person I've worked with.
It's me, I get it.
Several of my friends have also worked with this person.
Okay.
And this person is a complicated personality. I'm going to make this as vague as humanly possible.
Nice.
And this person frustrates other friends of mine who work with this person as well.
So far, it really sounds like me, but keep going.
And what's funny is it's sort of like my version of picturing people naked when you do a speech. I just think sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that person would be so funny in bed, wouldn't they? Because they'd be so bossy. Like, I can't even imagine being in bed with that person. And the other people around me will be like, how could you even think about that person sexually? And I'm like, well, I'm not, but I am. Like, why is it hard to think that that person has sex?
I love that.
Like, I just don't. And it's the same with my parents. Like, oh gosh, I can't go into that too far. But, you know, I hope they're getting laid. I hope they're having a good time. And, you know, when they are stressed out, I'm like, I almost want to say to them, like, do you guys need to get laid or something? Like,
do you do that with everybody?
Why can't I?
Was it a male coworker or a worker with you, or is it female? And I know you go both ways.
Keep it as vague as possible.
I'm in general. I'm not saying in this
instance.
case. I'm saying in general, because I was thinking in my workplace.
Yeah.
I think of like I've looked at every girl like that. Seriously, like
no. It's not just men.
No, I'm just curious.
Women.
Because for me, I didn't do that with the guys.
I'm into them.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about like, oh, how hot would it be to be with that person? I'm not like creepy thinking about my colleagues that way. I'm thinking like, it's a joke to me. It's funny. It's like, oh man, I bet that guy's super bossy in bed. Oh, I bet that girl is like, could you imagine that couple having sex together? That must be so funny. Like, you know, I just find personalities interesting and sex is interesting. And I just find it interesting. And I don't know why we have to get like all worked up about thinking about people in a sexual way, not sexualizing people per se, but
that's the weirdest thing, because we do it with like celebrities. When you see a hot couple, you're like, oh, they must have fucking getting it on type of thing. But it's like, oh, when it's all of a sudden everybody else, why do we say shut it off? It's like, oh no, I understand, because there's that fine line. It's like, oh, when I said that with my office, I don't think I'm the person doing it all the time, right? Like, it's like, I'm not fantasizing about it. It's like, no, you can imagine them having sex. Because they do.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I don't see why it's a problem.
Yeah.
We demonize and shame people for things that are completely natural and normal and human. Maybe I'm a little more French than I'd like to admit. I'm not actually French, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, I've gone off on my tangent, but I do have another question.
Yes, let's go.
I'm gonna stick to, since we only have like 10 minutes left, I'm gonna stick to a simple question.
Cool.
So this one is from a man. That's all I know. When I go to the gym, I get incredibly horny every time. Not at the gym. It's when I'm in the shower or in the sauna after a workout, or even when I'm driving home.
Oh, okay.
It's actually never in any of those places. Sorry, I misread that. Huh? It's never in any of those places. It's when I get home.
Oh, it's when you get home. Okay.
That I feel like I absolutely have to have sex. The feeling doesn't last for a long time. And it's weird. It's like I'm a werewolf for a couple of minutes and then I revert back to my normal self. Is this normal?
That's it. Excellent question.
That's the question.
Love it. Yes, it's normal. Yes, it's very normal. If you want to go into the details, it depends on your workouts too. You could, and again, because of the science behind it, people will have different, types of advice to try to nuance it or do things with that. Because basically a lot of it has to do with working up like testosterone and muscle building, right? Because if you're exercising in any way, there's going to be those hormones and those chemicals inside you, adrenaline, testosterone, and those things. You're kind of doing a lot of things with the chemicals in your body, and that's why it's completely normal. And in fact, after anything, like when I have a long basketball session, and some people will say, yeah, it means you didn't go the whole way because if you were exhausted, it's like, well, no, you're still going to have those feelings, but sometimes if you push yourself, like one way to get out of that werewolf phase really easy is like it's going to go, you're not going to do anything with it because you're too tired physically. I would not recommend that all the time because you're going to wear yourself out. But there's different ways, knowing that that's probably what's going on, that you can try to do things differently in your workout or do things like that. But basically, it is a lot of the times just that spike. Now, what was there a question of like they was just wondering if it was normal? There's nothing else like what they want or don't want? Okay.
They just want to know if it's normal. I don't know if they think it's a problem, but they just want to know if it's normal.
Good. It's completely normal. So it's actually funny because you depending on what you're doing in your sex life, it's like there's some people who like to do certain things, like try to abstain from masturbating for periods of time. Some of them don't mind, and that's fine. Have at it. You're horny. Go for it. It depends on what you have for your personal life and your goals in your sex life or relationship life, and it's perfectly normal. It's going to be fine either way. You could go either way. If you need to abstain, you're like, well, then I'm never going to work out because I don't want that temptation. It's like, no. It's good because if you can't take that temptation, you're not going to be able to last another temptation. So it's just a part of life. But here's one thing I heard that might be very interesting that came to my mind when you're talking about this. Now, this isn't probably anything to do with your particular goals, but maybe it is. But I heard this one guy talking about that him and his wife for a long time were trying to change or like try to have the best odds to be able to have a certain either a boy or a girl for their like they wanted more daughters or they wanted more sons or something, right? Or they had too many sons and they wanted more daughters. They had too many daughters, they wanted more sons. And one of the things they said was, from a lot of research looking at this, is that after exercise and the high testosterone activities that get you like turned on, you're higher chance that you're going to get a girl for a baby. Isn't that interesting? And because he said a lot of athletes that he knows, and that it's not just
Is that actually scientifically true?
He was saying that he did.
Right.
Like, he was saying science. It wasn't just people he knew. He was saying it was actually like studies to test that. But I'm not sure if it's right. It could be wrong. But this is what I saw on one of these guys saying that, and he's a very meticulous and scientific guy. I can't remember his name, but I remember him talking about it. But again, so there's things like that. So again, you can. They're making lemonade out of lemons, because again, who knows if that works? And it could be just a reason. Maybe it could be some whole thing where he doesn't want to have sex after his hard workouts, and he's making this up in his mind, and other people are confirming it with him. I don't know, but this is what I've seen. So I'm just saying that odds are, regardless of what it does, it's going to be those hormones and those things in the body. So it's not only that he tried to have either a son or a daughter. That was one of the things he mentioned. So I thought that was fascinating.
That seems unlikely to me. I'm skeptical. We'll
Cool.
have to do some research on that and post some links because I don't want to give people false information.
I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm saying this is what I heard, and I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just saying that
Okay.
that's one thing you can look up if you want. That's what came to mind when I heard this. So go ahead. I don't need to be right.
Quick. No, it's all good. Quick Google is not giving me any information on that. So
Cool.
I'm going to say it's probably not
I don't trust Google.
well studied.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, went down a rabbit hole, as is my name.
That's true.
Anyway. Oh, sorry, now I don't have chat up. Anyway, yeah, I agree that it's normal. Maybe not everybody has that strong of a reaction that they turn into, what did you say, Wolverine, to a werewolf.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody has that strong of a reaction, but maybe not everybody has that strong of sensitivity to hormones as you do. So if it's unusual, it could be that your sensitivity is a little higher, which is not a bad thing at all. It could be that you're influenced more by dopamine than other people. It could be that your dopamine receptors are particularly receptive. In which case, good for you. You know how to get yourself horny, which a lot of people don't know how to do. Actually, a lot of people don't know how to turn themselves on when they want to. You know how many people would kill to have that superpower of yours? Actually, I think a lot. So good for you. So when you have a date, go to the gym beforehand, take a nice long shower since you're not affected in the shower or on the drive home. Just plan your dates after the gym. It's pretty fucking great. If you're partnered, the only problem I could see is if your partner has a much lower libido than you and you're coming home all amped up and your partner's just not into it. In which case you're going to have to find other solutions anyway for the long term, whether that's opening up or masturbating in different ways or taking care of yourself or having your partner give you some maintenance sex more often or whatever it may be that you guys decide to work on together. This may also be a great tool for you as you look into relationships in the future if you're not currently in one. If you end up finding yourself with somebody who's got a high libido, an easy fix for that. You can just go to the gym more often.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're with somebody who has a lower libido, if you don't feel the need to work out every day, then you could go to the gym less often. It's entirely up to you. And I don't know what's causing it. We're speculating hormones. It could be that your gym has a preponderance of sexy people in it, and it doesn't really hit you until you get home. I don't know. One of our viewers suggested masturbating before you go to the gym and see if that changes anything. If you find it to be a problem, that's not a bad suggestion. It's
That'll
kind of
kill your
interesting.
workout, man. No, I don't know. Depends on your workout.
I wouldn't say that. I think, again, it depends on the person.
It does,
and,
yeah.
And lots of people have tons of energy after having sex or masturbating. So it just depends on you and your needs and what works best for you. But no, you're totally normal. In fact, I don't think there is a normal. So maybe we should just stop calling it that. You are who you need to be. And I think you should use it to your advantage. Have fun. Plan sexy nights at home when you're done at the gym. It's kind of great. Most people don't have a lot of energy after the gym. It's nice that you have a way to
wait a second. You did say, again, I don't want to go straight counterpoint because I know what you're saying with not normal, but I do think that in general, most of the time when men or ejaculate, they get less energy.
Oh yeah,
that's more
true
normal.
of most men.
Exactly. Not
but
all.
it
I know not
depends
all.
on
I
the
know not
person.
all, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying that in general, I would say that percentages are definitely higher. That's going to happen more often than
But
not.
that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was talking about the questioner who asked if he was normal.
Oh, I don't know. I
Um,
mean, they're completely normal, and it's fine, and it's even greater if it's great if you're not normal on that one. It would be great if you could just ejaculate and it gives you more energy. But I'm like every time. So I'm just saying that like that's why I made that comment, and it was half joking about that workout because I would personally have a difficult time masturbating before workout. But if it's good to try once at least, especially if this is a problem for you that you're saying that you don't want to be getting into that zone. So yeah, that would be definitely a thing to try. But I would say like depends on your workout. I think if you're doing more cardio and less like aggression of weightlifting or like even like sports, I think it would take off an edge. There's a reason why they have that old superstition of not having sex before fights because it's hard with the energy levels.
Well, so, and this is exactly what I was talking about. It's the same way with actors and businessmen and all sorts of different things where somebody has to perform. For some people, it helps them to masturbate beforehand. For some people, it helps them to masturbate afterwards. For some people, it helps them to not masturbate for a long time. And for some people, it helps them to masturbate every single day to feel like they're more powerful. So you just have to figure out what works best for you and your life and your lifestyle. And that's why I suggested it might be interesting, as this viewer suggested, to try, masturbating once.
Definitely.
Sometime before going to the gym and see if that makes a difference. Make it an experiment, play with it and see what works best for you in your life. What makes you feel the most empowered? What makes you feel the strongest? And what makes you feel like you can be your best self? And do that thing. Do that thing.
Play with your body. Find those things that help you.
That's why I say there's no normal, because when you can find out what your body really wants and what your body really thrives on, that's your normal. That's you, and that's the best you can be.
Being normal is usually not that fun. It's putting you in a box.
That's why we got to go out.
Let's get out. Let's go
with a bang tonight with this great question about the gym and getting horny. I appreciate it. It's kind of a funny little.
You go work out now.
Way to tie it up.
Well, thank you all for being here, and we will see you next week.
What are the results? We got to go over our poll.
Oh, we didn't do
what
that.
What do we have
right.
for our poll tonight?
We had, what do you think of randomness in romance? Spontaneity is great, can make me laugh. I prefer to know what to expect. Surprise me with sex, or I don't really like surprises. So we have 33% thinks spontaneity is great and can make them laugh. 33% also says, I prefer to know what to expect. Ooh. And 22% wants to be surprised with sex. And 11% don't really like surprises. We got a little bit of each. Wow.
Ooh, a little. See, there's no normal.
No normal whatsoever. You're all awesome Sexytime listeners.
Yes. So good to have you guys here tonight. Again, we're just so grateful for all the ways you find us and all the ways that you're here for us. We're so grateful. If you haven't given us a review on Apple Podcasts, we'll take that for our unbirthday. Thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed to us on youtube.com/Sexytime podcast, you know who you are. Give us a little love there if you could. And if you haven't supported us on Patreon, but you have a couple dollars to spare, come on over to patreon.com/Sexytime podcast. It's a really wonderful community. Whether or not you subscribe at the Pillow Talk level, we're always really grateful to have everyone in our community. And we're super fucking grateful for everybody who's supporting us in all the ways that you do.
Hell to the yeah, motherfuckers. Sorry, I like that I can swear. Here. We used to not be able to swear, so unfortunately I tend to do that more here. But I like it. It's normal for me. And you're all awesome.
I like it like that.
We'll see you next week. We have a theme. It is what is the next theme? Do you remember?
Woo-woo.
It's I actually
no.
I had it. It's sex and
you have all the devices.
Sex and spirituality.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I love that. Okay. We'll see you
Oh, yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. I got some good questions for that one. That's going to be nice.
Until then, stay sexy, stay safe.
And don't get caught in public.
Yeah, that was great.
So
Some
good to see
spirituality.
you all here tonight. It's really good. Mayo, it's been a while. Super good to see you. Davo, it's been a while. Super good to see you. Monster J,
Mhm.
super good to see you. And to know you told your boss about the show. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Did anybody else wander through that we missed?
Today's chat was kind of lively,
cool.
but
We had-
less, and I like it. It's a personal
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Personal.
Yeah. It was lovely to have you all here. Lovely. Lovely.
May the fourth.
And in just a few minutes.
We're trying to one up each other. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is actually almost, right?
It is
Yeah,
almost.
almost. We got a couple weeks. Yeah, so we're gonna go over to Pillow Talk in just a few minutes. I just have to pee, and we both have an early night, so
Yeah.
we're gonna try to keep on schedule. And I'm gonna stop umming.
I'm away. You were fine. At least you didn't say like as much as me. I've been trying to stop saying like as much, and it's really hard. Anyway,
That would be really funny Halloween costume.
or like.
Emma Thompson. And I could just
Oh
walk
my
around
god,
saying,
that was ridiculous. That's so great. Is there do like what's what's a celebrity that has close to like
I don't know.
crap. It's in the old days it would have been like Turner, but it's I don't know.
I've got Emma Thompson on the brain because I just saw a movie and she's so cute. I love her.
Is there a famous Ike? I guess I could be Ike from South Park. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thank you again, everyone, for being here.
I hope so.
You are fucking amazing. We'll see you in Pillow Talk
Yeah.
in a bit. Until next
It's
time.
really pillow talk tonight.
Oh yeah,
so
you got enough pillows for all of us. I should bring my pillow one of these days.
Monster J's already almost home. Okay, I gotta hurry up and pee so we
Let's
can start
go.
Pillow Talk.
Till next time. Till next week. See you next Tuesday, you cunts. Till next time. Stay sexy. Stay safe.
And don't get caught in public. We love you bunches. Bye.
Oh wait, I didn't prepare. There, I prepared now.
The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. So grab your dick and double click. The internet is for porn.
Thank you so much for coming along with us on this episode of Sexy Time. The party goes on after each show with unfettered access to your hosts in an uncensored and private live segment we call Pillow Talk. Become a Sexy Time subscriber to join in on the fun at patreon.com/sexytimepodcast. That's patreon.com/sexytimepodcast. It is always a pleasure to see you there. If you've enjoyed our company and would like to support us, be sure to tap that share button and spread the love. Join us again next week wherever you listen to podcasts for another Sexy Time. Until next time, this is the Mistress of Ceremonies sending her love. Stay sexy.